Does R pronounce differently in cases like bird, power, theirs, three, red? Light R, hard R. I guess just really quick, I'm going to say those words, bird through red again. And then, Maria, if you can say those too, just so people can kind of see what's going on. So I would say bird, power, theirs, three, red. And how would you say those?
Bird, power, theirs, three, red.
Perfect. So now let's get to the question itself. Do you find that your R sounds for those words are pronounced differently?
I think the R in red, well, bird, thinking about the bird word first versus that R in red. That sounds different to me. Am I mistaken about that? What do you think?
I think there's a lot of flexibility with R sounds. I think when you find them in an initial position, it can be easy for them to get more exaggerated. But I also don't think they have. It's hard with individual works because there's no context. There's no context. It's artificial. I think if you use the same R for all of them, I think you could be fine. Like I think a key thing, if I do like an sound for all those, bird, power, theirs, three, red, like like in general, I think you can use the same R for all of them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that every single native speaker is always going to do that 100% of the time.
That's right. It does vary. Yeah. I mean, there's a bigger difference, I would say, in R's a lot of the time that are at the end of words, like bar, far. I mean, if you look at how wide and relaxed my mouth is, bar, far, car, versus word, word. My mouth is really tight. So I think maybe there's more variation in that case. But there may be. Not so
I don't know what you see with your student. I think the American English R has a reputation of being like this. It's like a couple consonants, like R's, THs. A lot of these consonants have reputations of being these kind of like really firm, strong, dominant sounds. But in my opinion, like I think they can actually be very distracting because American English is so consonant. I mean, it's so consonant weak. It's so vowel heavy.
Exactly.
Because American English is really about breath. We're trying to get air flowing. If you guys listen to my voice, you can hear that resonance. If you listen to Maria's voice, you can hear that resonance too. So this isn't just like a male female female thing. This is like it's one of the key features that really separates American English also from other types of English,
Totally.
And so we don't want the R to become this thing that we kind of get hyper focused on, because I think what can happen is it can cause things to close up and tighten off and kind of start blocking off a lot of that breath. It's very easy to shift the placement higher. You don't want to say like bird, because now everything's like super shut, whereas they're more open, like bird, like power. It's not power, it's power, trying to really keep that air flowing in the interest of breath. I think that's a really important consideration when you're looking at R's. Other things that you've encountered with students in R sounds, or things that you think would be helpful for people to consider?
I think really just the position of the mouth, kind of to keep in mind the kind of the tightness versus the relaxed nature of the facial muscles, and just how your lips are and your mouth is. Just like I said a few minutes ago, try to remember when you see these words like bird, where we have the R more in the middle of the word, try to keep your lips tight, and that'll help you to pronounce that sound a little more easier. Bird, word, versus like I said before, far, bar. I need to go to my car.
I like what you mentioned about tight lips. I would just encourage, you can have tight lips but still an open sound. Okay,
Right.
So just what happens to a lot of people, you become so focused on the lip position that everything else kind of fades away, but it's still playing by the same book as everything else. So just kind of watching out for that. Imagine we do this sort of analysis with you every single day of the week. Every single day of the week, you get someone telling you that, hey, that sounded really good. Hey, we need to increase our pitches. Hey, our vowel wasn't open enough on this word. You can get feedback like that from me every single day of the week in our program that is called Mission English. It's in a private Facebook group. We do a class. It's a small group class. 3 to 4 students join me on screen, and we just do exercises together. This is our schedule right now. We also have added in writing classes. You can see those on weekends. So that way, if you're studying for IELTS, you need to write some business emails, We can help you with that. You give us your writing, we take a look at it. You're trying to get a band 7 on IELTS? Cool. We'll look at your essays. We'll give you some suggestions. We'll get you there. Pronunciation is one of those things that it has to be consistent and it has to be every day. You take a day off, you take 2 days off, you come back the third day, you feel it. You feel slower. You can find more information about fluentamerican.com.